about, okay? Because I'm talking about a gut-clearing ritual that anyone can do at home. And no, I'm not talking about poop yoga or chugging half your body weight in water. And it's not some crazy TikTok trend like those dangerous coffee enemas that people keep trying. It's simple, it's safe, and backed by real hard Ivy League science studied at Harvard and Yale. Best of the best. A top New York City gut doctor named Dr. Gina Sam showed it to me. And I gotta say, I love how her gut-clearing morning ritual helps your body naturally release stuck poop. You do it, and it softens and loosens the hardened poop, blocking your colon, so your body can easily and comfortably release all that backed-up toxic waste. And here's my favorite part. This technique helps your body process waste more efficiently going forward, which means you don't have to live in fear of constipation anymore. And no, you absolutely do not have to give up your favorite foods or anything like that. Dr. Sam has been using her gut-clearing ritual with her patients for years now, helping thousands find relief when nothing else worked. So now she's spreading the word as the #1 constipation solution for folks who've been backed up for months or even years. And it works for pretty much anyone, whether you struggle with bloating, diarrhea, hemorrhoids, toxic gas, IBS, or constipation. Better yet, this gut-clearing morning ritual fits into your lifestyle, not the other way around. Think about that for a second. No embarrassing procedures, no dangerous coffee enemas, no restricting your diet. Just do this simple ritual in the morning and live your life without worrying about your next bowel movement. Want to see how? Dr. Sam has this video that's been blowing up in the medical community, and she explains it way better than I can. I dropped the link for you below. Just click it to check it out. No email required or anything like that. Totally free to see. And remember, you've got to be careful. There's a lot of confusing, if not flat-out dangerous advice out there. And I don't know about you, but I'm all for simple ways to enjoy life while getting healthy. And that's what's so great about this. It takes 7 seconds, just 7 seconds, and it actually helps you clear out pounds of stuck poop without straining, cramping, or any urgent mad dashes for the bathroom. Not a bad trade-off, right? So if you really want to see the fastest way to clear out stuck poop and, yeah, feel lighter, there's a link below to Dr. Sam's video. Check it out, try it, and just watch what happens over the next 2 weeks. I think you'll love what you see in the mirror without all that stuck poop draining your vitality and making you feel heavy. Seriously, this stuff really is a game changer.
Dreams Affinity mattress and Steinhafels picked it up. I believe it's from like their Brookfield or Waukesha place. They got this big storage
the Japanese model's recipe that creates the effect of your own natural mounge and made my jeans fall off in just 1 week. If you've been using ice once a week and still haven't lost at least 4 blocks of fat, it's because you're doing it wrong. I didn't know either, and until I discovered the twist that changed everything. Let me show you how simple it is. I was completely hopeless about my weight until I decided to give this a chance, and in just a few weeks I deflated like a balloon. My jeans started falling off, my face slimmed down, and the swelling in my legs at the end of the day, gone. To give you an idea, in just 1 month using this natural Japanese mounge, I had to replace my entire wardrobe. Nothing fit me anymore. And honestly, I thought I'd be stuck in double extra large forever. But look at me now. Even my mom compliments me when she sees me. How did I do it? Just by using ice in a very specific way. Seriously, my friends, even the ones who used to joke about my weight, were dying to know what I had done. I couldn't handle all the messages anymore. They even got upset, demanding I reveal exactly what I did to change so fast. So I finally decided to share the same video I watched, showing how this new way of using ice helped me lose weight effortlessly. I left the complete, simple, step-by-step video right below, so anyone can follow along. So if you want to lose weight without living off salad, without stepping foot in a gym, and without surgery, you need to watch this now. Seriously, try this little recipe for just a few days and see what happens. Today, I'm back to wearing clothes that hadn't fit me in years, and I feel amazing in my body. But trust me, don't overdo it. A woman from Arizona went overboard and had to start eating more burgers and ice cream just so she wouldn't get too skinny. That's why you shouldn't drink more than 1 glass a day, deal? And oh, the video also reveals 2 canned green foods that pretend to be healthy, but are secretly sabotaging your metabolism. Keep this in mind. This is the secret to stepping into 2025 with a head-turning body that makes other women jealous. Click the button below and watch the special free video that shows everything, including the secret ingredient. But hurry, because for some reason, This video has
and we are
already been
still
taken
waiting to
down
hear
4
back on
times
whether
since
or not
yesterday. Why do you
that
think the weight
assistance,
loss
emergency
industry doesn't
assistance
want
from
you to
FEMA
see
will be
this?
provided.
So if you click
And
the button
Truth Nation,
below
there are so
and the
many
video is
people
still
who lost
available,
so much.
it means you got lucky.
Basements
Go ahead and
completely
start clearing
flooded.
out your
You know,
closet because those clothes you
can't-
wear today are just going to
can't-
slide right
most
off
of us
your
have
new
jobs,
body.
some of us
Get
are
ready for
retired.
the compliments. Are you
But
ready?
if you were to
Tap
go to
the
your
blue
job,
Learn
you would
More
ask
button and
people
start
at your
transforming
job
your
whether or
body
not,
today. Thank me later.
they were impacted by the floods. You would find multiple people impacted by floods. I mean, even this week, I found out 2 people that I work with. I mean, the floods were almost a month ago now that were negatively impacted by the floods. And
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that we get a taste of something else because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of Steinhafels,
seeping through or mold that is growing on people's walls, or people
I want you
whose
to do
houses
your
that,
best to walk us through
can't live
what
in
happens
anymore.
next
This is
from your
complete devastation, and this flood absolutely hurt a lot of communities, and a lot of communities need
I
this
remember-
assistance. So my hope
I remember him coming
is
at me,
that we will be able to get
and
some assistance in the state.
really didn't
And
think that
my
he would
hope
ever
is not
make
wavering
contact,
quite
and then I
yet,
just remember
but I am
it
a
was
little bit
like a
nervous. I will say
crash
that,
sound.
Truth
It
Nation. The
was.
reason why I'm a little bit nervous about whether or not we're going to
I
get the
just
funding is
remember
because
smashing
today
into the
I was
wall.
notified by,
I went
notified by the county
down,
office
my glasses went
of a
up,
joint
I went-
statement
I
that was
smashed
released
into
between
the
Waukesha
wall.
County, Washington
He was
County,
on
Milwaukee
me,
County, and the city of Milwaukee.
and then I was
I'm not going to
being
read that statement
pulled
for you
down.
because, of course, that would be boring radio. But the statement
I was
was
being
a joint
hit,
statement, which I think is
and
powerful.
I don't know
Talking
where
about
and
these
by
different,
what.
counties.
I
that have
had
multiple
closed my
municipalities
eyes. I
all
was trying to
coming
protect
together
my
and
face
writing a letter to our
and my
president
head.
asking him for some assistance. And
He
so
had
right
me
on
by the
behalf of our
hair,
communities in southeastern Wisconsin
and
that
I
were
was still
impacted by
getting
the
hit in the
floods on
head.
the 9th and the 10th.
In the
and they are,
meantime,
the floods were
I
historic and they were unprecedented.
felt,
And
saw
they,
my
are
law clerk
appreciating
who was
the
sitting
collaborative
next to
effort
me,
from the local government, the county,
who
the
had
state, and
dove
federal partners in the response
almost
to the
in front
catastrophe.
of me
And they're
as
looking to get
Mr. Redden
everybody to
came
come
at
together
me.
to help support the community. So the fact that there was a joint
And
statement
he
out,
was on top
tells
trying
me
to
that they're
pry
apply pressure to ensure that our
the defendant
communities get
off me.
the
By this
necessary
point,
things that they
I
need
had pulled
in
down. I
order to
was
recover from these floods.
kind of
And,
in the,
again,
laying down
we've
like in
talked
the
about it
back
before, Truth
of,
Nation.
of the bench. I had gone my head from this side
They're absolutely
this
devastating
side.
in our community. And I know
and
me personally, I feel blessed and fortunate.
I
was
just
helping my
remember
parents get some of this stuff out.
saying, "Help, help! Somebody get him off!" I mean,
They
in my
definitely
head,
turned out okay. But
I
just
was
wanted to make sure I
completely
provided an
defenseless.
update
He
on
was
that, so you all were
so
updated on
determined
what
and
was
so
happening
violent and
with
so-
our state, especially when it comes to the floods, and especially when it comes to getting FEMA money.
It was,
'cause that FEMA money could be life-changing.
scary. I didn't
It
think
could be
I was gonna get out of
life-changing
there.
because of the fact that a lot of us are dealing with a lot of different things and recovering. I know, I know people that gotta get a new furnace, new hot water heaters, right? Backed up basement, had to get your basement cleaned out. And there's only so much that insurance companies are going to be able to cover. And it all depends on what, who your insurance company is and what your policy was. Some people may get everything covered. Some people may not get everything covered. But that is what our federal tax dollars are for, right? When we pay taxes, we don't just pay taxes for fun. We don't just pay taxes for play. We don't just pay taxes because we love giving the government our money. And let me tell you, I don't love giving the government my money, but I do it because I ain't got no choice. But that money is then allocated to go towards situations like this when you're impacted. And so at this moment in time, we're not asking for a handout, Truth Nation. Milwaukee County, the city of Milwaukee, Washington County, Waukesha County, none of these counties, none of these places, none of these cities, none of these municipalities, none of these villages across these different 3 counties are asking for a handout. We're asking for the money that we put in through our federal dollars to be able to come back to us to assist us in our time of need. Because, again, there are still a lot of people struggling. And now with this weather here in Wisconsin, unfortunately, it seems like the summer is over. And based off the fact that this morning when I left my house, it was 59 degrees outside. I got another wedding to go to. As y'all know, I'm on my marathon weddings. I have another wedding to go to tomorrow. Shout out to my boy B-Mart. And my lady texted me, said, should I bring a jacket for the wedding tomorrow because it's only supposed to be 62 degrees outside. And so with that being said, that means that people going to start turning on that heat. I know it's only September, early September, but people going to start turning on that heat because of how chilly it is right now. And you got to have a working furnace in order to turn on that heat. And so, again, Truth Nation, I'm just here to inform and update everybody, but I'm not saying we should panic. But I am saying that with this joint letter, I do believe there is some nervous folks in these different counties about whether or not our region will get the necessary federal disaster funds in order to help our residents, the businesses, and also our local government who were overwhelmed by the flooding, which, estimated damages are in the tens of millions of dollars, right? Tens of millions of dollars from a storm that happened on the 9th and the 10th. So I just wanted to provide an update on that because I was given that, and I like to talk about fun stuff. I like to talk about serious stuff, but this is something that's real life. This is something that impacts a lot of people, and with the fact that that we got this joint letter, that tells me that it may not be going in a direction that we want it to go, and families may be left to fend for themselves, even though our federal tax dollars are supposed to be going towards things like FEMA to support us in our time of need. But 833-212-1017, again, that is the Truth Talking text line. If you have any comments or thoughts on this, definitely call in, text in. As you know, the lines are always open. But you can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That is 1017 The Truth on YouTube. I'm going to go to it myself so I can watch this live on YouTube as well. And again, I am live, live from Steinhafels in Menominee Falls. So if anybody wants to come on out, make sure you come on out to Steinhafels in Menominee Falls. If you got anything that you want to set your house up with, you can see I'm on this beautiful couch, and it's a green couch. And I think it must be green because we are only days away from Packers. And actually, I'm looking, my guy Jerry. That's my guy Jerry. Jerry sold me. Jerry not paying attention. Jerry the one who sold me Jerry the one who sold me my mattress. Ain't that right, Jerry? Yeah, see? Yeah, Jerry don't remember me. That's okay, though. But make sure you come on down. If you want to see some of the dope things they have here, make sure you come on out to Steinhafels in Menominee Falls. But again, 833-212-1017, the Truth Talking text line. When we come back, we're going to talk about Druski, the comedian Druski, who right now is going crazy on social media, all because of a comedian act, or I should say skit that he had that has people talking about him. When we come back, we're going to talk about that. And is it okay for black people to put on whiteface? This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. We're going to talk about that on the other side.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth, the Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tune into the award-winning 1017 The Truth this Saturday at 11:30 a.m. for the debut of Forward Together for Kids, a monthly conversation with real talk about K-12 education in Milwaukee. We'll tackle tough issues and make sure you're informed about everything happening from the State House to the schoolhouse that affects kids' education. Brought to you by City 4 Collective, a local nonprofit working to ensure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family. Again, that is Forward Together for Kids this Saturday at 11:30 a.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Tory Lowe on the go, a call to action this Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. We'll be broadcasting live from rural Wisconsin on the Tory Lowe Show. We'll be discussing the shocking case of a 14-year-old teen who was brutally beaten and pressed against a meat grinder in a barn. Do not miss this important conversation as we shed light on this hate crime. Join me live as we explore the complexities of this case and what it means to our community. Your voice matters, and I want to hear from you. Call in and share your thoughts, and let's work together to create positive change.
Talk to these people in terms of how do I register for this program despite my reservations and my previous experiences of rejection?
Yes, I tell anybody and everybody that you can buy a house. It may take somebody longer than the other person depending on what your circumstances is with your credit and income and affordability, but you can purchase a house. The first step would be is to register for our program. You can come to our office, 7830 West Burleigh Street, or you can give us a call at 414-461-6330, or just go onto our website, hri-wi.org. Register for the First Time Home Buyer Education Workshop. That's going to be your first step to home ownership. During that class, you're going to learn everything that you need to know from A to Z, how to get approved for a house, how to look for a house and put an accepted offer, and how to close on a home.
This is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Monday night at Lambeau just got even better thanks to American Family Insurance. Enter the Dream Weekend Sweepstakes for your chance at the ultimate Packers game day experience. One lucky winner will score tickets to the November 10th game, a pregame tailgate in Titletown, inclusive of meal and games, a signed Jordan Love jersey, Packers tour, swag, and more. Your Dream Weekend could be waiting for you. Don't miss your chance to enter. No purchase is necessary. Enter by 11:59 Central Time on October 23rd, 2025. See official rules and enter at amfam.com/Packers. That's amfam.com/Packers. Also, if your loved one is looking for homeowners insurance or car insurance, they got a family member looking for homeowners insurance or car insurance, visit amfam.com today. That is amfam.com today. This is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. We're coming to you live. Yes, we're coming to you live right now from Steinhafels at Menominee Falls on Truth to Power. Again, y'all can come hang out with us until 1 o'clock. And guess what, Truth Nation? They got their Labor Day sale, and Labor Day might be over, but they have extended it. You can save 10%, yes, 10% store-wide, or you can get 36 months, 0% financing on a purchase over $19.99. Yes, what a great deal. They also have doorbusters that are still here, but only while supplies last. Don't miss the Test Rest Mattress promotion. Try out any mattress and grab a $20 lunch gift card. Oh, snap. I'm about to do that. I'm about to try out me a mattress and get me a $20 lunch gift card. And Steinhafels will donate $20 to Special Spaces Wisconsin, which is an amazing organization that builds dream bedrooms with kids fighting to battle against cancer. So come on down for a great cause where you get a chance to actually lay down, try out a mattress. You'll get a $20 gift card, but more importantly, you'll be able to have a donation of $20 to Special Spaces in Wisconsin, which is an amazing organization that builds dream bedrooms for kids who are fighting and battling cancer. And again, when you spend over $19.99, you'll also score a $100 gift card from Packers gift card. So again, get on over here, and we're live at Steinhafels in Menominee Falls. But again, 833-212-1017. That's the Truth Talking text line. You can watch the streamers live on YouTube by simply going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Now, Rhea Riley, I don't know about you. I don't know if you heard about this or not, but I was on social media, I think it was 2 days ago.
Okay.
And my lady, she was watching this video, and it was of my boy Druski. And I absolutely love Druski. I find Druski to be absolutely hilarious. I mean, he is hilarious. And I heard the voice, and I'm like, that's Druski voice, but it sounded like he's at a NASCAR race. And so then she showed it to me. I said, oh, hell no. And Druski, who is a black man, was dressed up as if he was a white guy at a NASCAR race. And he was, portraying and doing a skit like he had all white skin, tatted up. Matter of fact, I know we can't play the video because of the vulgar language. But Rhea, if you can, grab a screenshot of it. Or matter of fact, you can play it without the volume while I'm talking, so people can kind of see the behind the scenes stuff. And let me tell you, y'all, it was hilarious. I was laughing hard because I thought it was funny. But the internet didn't find it to be as funny. Well, some people on the internet found it to be funny. Some people found it to be offensive because of the fact that Druski, and y'all going to be able to see this when you go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. We're going to get it up there. What you're going to see is that you're going to see he basically had on Whiteface. And so my question is, with the Druski situation, is it a double standard, Truth Nation? Is it? That is something that I want to ask you. 833-212-1017. I mean, the skit was hilarious, but some folks were offended by it, so I want to hear from you. 833-212-1017. Now, as y'all get ready to see y'all on YouTube and y'all on the chat as well, again, 1017 The Truth on YouTube, and Rhea brings the video up, I highly suggest we're not going to be able to play the volume because there were some explicits that were said, but you'll be able to kind of see what I'm talking about. But what I found to be interesting is the fact that this ain't the first time something like this has happened. Because when we think about it, there was a whole movie out there called White Chicks. Y'all remember the movie White Chicks? One of my favorite, well, not one of my favorite movies, but one of the good movies to be able to watch. And in that movie, it was the Wayans brothers who were dressed up. They were cops, undercover cops, and they were dressing up as young white women. The attractiveness wasn't probably there, but it is what it is. They were playing a character. and they were dressed up as them as undercover cops, and they were portraying to be young white women. And then also you have a movie, Tropic Thunder, where you had Robert Downey Jr., who was playing a character in the movie that was putting on blackface. And so what I want to know from you, Truth Nation, is how do y'all feel about this? Do you feel like it's a double standard? Do you feel like it's okay for Druski to be able to do that? Do you feel like people should be in an uproar? Because a lot of people are very, very upset, very, very upset with the fact that Druski went to the NASCAR race and he was dressed up like that. He put on makeup. He put on what some would say cosplay. And he was portraying to be a racist NASCAR fan. And if you go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube, you'll see the video. I'm telling y'all this right now. You'll see the video of Druski there. And some people also found it to be offensive because him portraying this character, they thought it was an offensive character that he was portraying. And as part of that, and I thought it was funny, but as part of that, he also, as a black gentleman walked past him, he also spit in front of him as he was walking past him. I'm pretty sure that he was part of the skit as well. He was sitting on people's laps or letting women sit on his lap, calling them Meemaw. It was quite hilarious to see. So I encourage you all to go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. But I do want to know, as you go on YouTube or you're listening, do you think this is okay? Do you think there is a double standard? Because a lot of people are saying, had it been the other way around, there would have been a problem. A lot of people are saying, had this been something else, it would have been a problem. And we do know the history of when you talk about blackface and you talk about, when you talk about the history of this, a lot of people know the history, right? And we know the history of blackface of, back in the 1900s, early 1900s, when films were coming out, or even when you had silent films, you had white actors playing black people and painting their faces black. Or you see in other countries, I believe it might be somewhere in the Netherlands or something like that, where they have a holiday where they paint their faces black. And so 833-212-1017, is this a double standard that people are finding that Druski is funny with it, but then on the other side, people will be outraged? Marlon, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts on the potential double standard of Druski?
No, how you doing? I don't think it's a double standard. We have to look at intent. Intent means a lot in a lot of different things. Comedy is what it is. It's comedy. We as Americans have, and the woke phase, we have started to look at ourselves way too serious. And we cannot even enjoy ourselves because we want to say that that's wrong and that's wrong. I think it's wrong that we go back 10, 15 years and apply today's standards to what happened in the past. You know what I mean? This is done for entertainment now. When you're trying to mock somebody like the blackface of the old because you are limiting those people to do it because you're trying to be like them, like the blackface from back in the day, they wouldn't let black people be part of that at all. So that's how come they did blackface. You know what I mean? But we need to understand that it's comedy. Comedy is supposed to be funny. It's supposed to give you enjoyment. And we have to understand, even there's movies out there. There's another movie, you talked about the movie Tropic Thunder, but there's another movie called Soul Man. I forget his name, Anthony, I forget his name. He's one of Brat Pack. But he was like he turned himself black to kind of show what it meant to be a white guy in a black life. So, I mean, that type of stuff is okay to me. But when you're doing it to degrade or to exclude a amount of people or something like that, then that's what's wrong. But again, we got to just relax a little bit. Sometimes we just have to stop being so politically correct, if that's the best way to say it, and just have fun and just laugh at stuff sometimes.
No, I'm right there with you. Sometimes you do have to laugh at stuff like that, and so I get it. But a lot of people are offended by the fact that that people let this slide. But historically, right? going to what Marlon was talking about is that I am one that, when I ain't gonna lie to you, when I saw the Tropic Thunder thing, I was so confused about how that worked, right? It seemed like a workaround because Tropic Thunder was basically a movie about them filming a movie, and so it seemed like a workaround. But I ain't gonna lie to y'all, when I first saw that, I was offended by Robert Downey Jr. doing something like that because I don't feel like it was necessary. But people say it because it's comedy, you should be able to do some things, and I am one when it comes to comedy. I do think we have to be very lighthearted. We know some people wanted to cancel Dave Chappelle for some of his jokes that he had, and I was not one who wanted to do that. But when you think about historically, as Marlon was talking about, the reason why, when you think about the origins of blackface, the reason why people are so sensitive, because a lot of them ended up playing stereotypes, right? It wasn't just like they were not allowing people to act. It wasn't just about not allowing people to act. It was more of not allowing people to act, but then acting as a extreme stereotype of what black folks are. You know, they talk about the minstrel shows that they had that mimicked enslaved Africans on southern plantations and depicting black people as being lazy, ignorant, cowardly, and all different things, right? So that is what he was talking about, was the negative side of it. But when it comes to comedy, is it okay? Again, 833-212-1017. Is it okay for a comedian like Druski to put on Whiteface? And a story I have from back in the day when I was in high school, there was a gentleman who I went to high school with. Well, I'm going to tell y'all that story soon because we got some folks on the phone. But when I went to high school, y'all know I went to Whitefish Bay High School. And there was a gentleman I went to high school with who was a black gentleman who put on Whiteface. And I'm going to tell y'all story after these next two callers. Dom, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Should people be offended by Druski putting on Whiteface?
Well, the thing is, I looked at everything, and one thing before I even get started, this is going to be this is two different worlds. You went to Whitefish Bay, right? And I graduated from Rufus King. So at our school, we had no one doing anything like that as far as, because we had theater and everything like that, but no one was doing whiteface or blackface or anything like that. That was something that at our time, I graduated in 2015, so at our time, that was something that we wasn't even really thinking about. And when Drake got exposed for it, and he did it, and he had the picture up when Pusha T exposed him, I went and did some research on. Did research on that whole thing, to the point where you can go back and right now you can still go into some of these antique shops and buy some of these Negro fixtures, these Negro statues, these Negro table things, or even magnets that have black creations or black face lookalikes, things that are demeaning to us. But when it comes to comedy, as a kid, when I was watching Tropic Thunder, it was completely hilarious. The whole movie, and when I got older, I sat back and was like, oh, that's what he did. And when we look at what Druski did, to be honest with you, we can't be mad. You know, we can't be mad at that, because we're at the world we're in now. If we're mad at that, there's so many other things we got to be mad at. And what he was literally in a group around the type of people that he made himself look like, literally. So if they're okay with it, if it's a joke, it's a joke, right? But if they're upset about it, then that's a problem. Why were we upset about him acting like them? They've acted like us for years, and they've done so many things to us for years, to where he should be able to do that, get his views, get his money, and then be able to have the conversation.
Dom, I do have a question for you. Is because with this, though, the thing I think that so many people were sensitive about, and I'm going to get into this, is the fact that he was portraying a character and he was doing the ultra stereotypes of what somebody would call a redneck NASCAR fan. That's why I think so many people are offended, is because it might have struck a chord of offensiveness for those. What do you say to those people who are offended by him portraying the negative stereotypes of a redneck NASCAR fan?
What I say to those people is this. If you're offended by that, get ready to be offended by a lot of more things, because what we're going to do now as a black community is put it back in your face and show you what you've done to us for years. And now it's time for us to get paid. It's time for us to stop bending over our backs and letting these people ride our backs. So if it's comedy, yeah. Now the problem is that how big is he going to get because he did that? That's what they're scared of. They're not mad that he did that. They're mad that he's going to get so many views, so many people talking about it, to the point where now Druski's going to be the face of comedy in so many years. Like, he has Kevin Hart backing him. You cannot tell me certain things are not.
Dom, I appreciate you. Look like you standing 10 toes down behind Druski. That's good for you. I love that. 833-212-1017. We're talking about Druski, the comedian, the young up-and-coming comedian. He went down to a NASCAR race this past weekend, and he basically completely changed what he looks like during the commercial break. You can go to 1017 The Truth during the commercial break. And Druski, we're going to replay the Druski skit. You won't hear any volume because there's some expletives, but definitely watch that. But I do want to hear your opinion. Is it a double standard, Truth Nation, or is it just comedy and everybody has to relax? You got to relax. You got to calm down. 833-212-1017. Al, I see you on the line. Lana Banana, I see you on the line. I see y'all on YouTube. Again, you can call in and text in as well, but you can watch and stream us live on YouTube. But we do have a poll up on YouTube as well. Do you believe it's okay for black people to do whiteface? 833-212-1017. We'll take your calls. We'll take your text, but this is Truth to Power live from Steinhafels here in Menominee Falls. But before we do go to break, this is what we're going to talk about is, you know what, Rhea? I think we should give away some tickets. So it is time to throw back more than just tequila as Milwaukee's premier festival returns for year 3 at the beautiful Franklin Field. And guess what? The award-winning 1017 The Truth has the hookup for you. Now it's your chance to win a pair of tickets to Tacos and Tequila Festival live at Franklin Field next Saturday, September 13th. Be caller number 5 at 833-212-1017 for your chance to win a pair of tickets. Yes, that's caller number 5 at 833-212-1017 for your chance to win tickets to Tacos and Tequila Fest happening at Franklin Field next Saturday, September 13th. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. What a great giveaway we have there. We'll have more conversation and calls coming up next.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Tory Lowe on the go, a call to action this Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. We'll be broadcasting live from rural Wisconsin on the Tory Lowe Show. We'll be discussing the shocking case of a 14-year-old teen who was brutally beaten and pressed against a meat grinder in a barn. Do not miss this important conversation as we shed light on this hate crime. Join me live as we explore the complexities of this case and what it means to our community. Your voice matters, and I want to hear from you. Call in and share your thoughts, and let's work together to create positive change.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 1017 The Truth.
And what are some of the ways that you're inspiring people? Because, you know, one of the biggest opportunities, in particular in the African-American community, is access, exposure, and awareness.
For Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin, we've been here 76 years.
Wow.
And our mantra is saving the lives you love. So if someone you love needs a blood transfusion and they're in any hospital in Southeast Wisconsin here, that blood's coming from us. And so we're trying to make sure that we're communicating that, because I think folks maybe don't understand that blood can't be manufactured. And summers are always tough because schools are out and we collect about 20 to 25% of our blood from schools. Mm-hmm. So it's always a day-to-day struggle. We say that the blood that's on the shelves is the blood that saves lives. And a lot of times people are compelled to donate when something bad happens. And our mission and our job is to educate folks so that we can get ahead of the curve and keep 3 days of inventory on the shelves. Mm-hmm. So we're in a decent spot right now, but we're on the streets every day trying to inspire people to join our mission. One of our big projects that we're proud of is Versity on King, which is part of the Thrive on collaboration in the Gimbel Schuster building on Martin Luther King Drive. And next year, we're going to open a destination center there. It'll be a blood donation center, but it'll be more than that, because we've realized that we can't be transactional with our relationships in the Black community. We need to do things that are intentional and that show that we're there to stay. But the reason that we're there is because not enough people that look like us donate. And so for disorders like sickle cell disease that disproportionately affect us, the race can matter. But I like to say that, you know, Black folks have a superpower in their blood. 44% of Black blood donors will have this rare trait that makes their blood more likely to be able to be a match for a sickle cell patient. And that 44%, like that is way higher than what we would find in other races.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. Badger volleyball struggled against UC Davis Thursday, even trailing by 8 in the second set, but they found a way to win behind Ohio State transfer Grace Egan.
Hype attack, dug by Furbringer. Simon bump sets. Egan right side, got it off the block and down, and Egan wins it for Wisconsin.
After taking that win, they take on Chicago State tonight and remain 8th in the nation. The Brewers lose their series against the Phillies while losing Thursday's game 0-2.
Duran goes 1-2-3 through the Brewers, and the Phillies take the series today, a final score of 2-0.
They now sit atop the MLB at 86-55. The Green Bay Packers take on the Lions on Sunday for opening weekend of the NFL. That game begins at 3:25 p.m. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
It is Truth to Power on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on 101.7 The Truth on YouTube.
One call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices. If your loved one is ever injured in a car accident, do not hesitate to make one call, that's all, to Gruber Law Offices, and they will take care of you. I'm telling y'all, I remember I was driving down Fond du Lac, just got off of Fond du Lac, at a red light, and smack, somebody hit me from behind. I was nervous. I didn't know what was happening. I pulled over to the side. Oh boy, didn't have insurance, didn't have what he needed, and so I contacted Gruber Law Offices. They made sure I was taken care of. They made sure my car got fixed. They made sure my back was okay, and they got me the money that I deserved, and they can do that for you as well. So get with the winning law firm with Gruber Law Offices by simply calling them at 414-276-6666. That's 414-276-6666, or visit them at gruber-law.com. And always remember, when you make one call, that's all, you don't have to worry about paying a single penny, a single cent, until they win your case. It's one call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices. We are live from Steinhafels in Menominee Falls, and congratulations to our winner, Sherlene, what was her name, Rhea? Sherlyn. Shout out to Sherlyn on winning the pair of tickets to the Tacos and Tequila Fest next Saturday. I cannot wait to be there myself. Some great artists. Make sure you tune into The Truth all day today as you have another chance on the Tori Lowe Show, who will be live from taking care of business out there where that young man was almost put against a meat grinder. He'll be live from there. And then also Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, and we'll be giving away more tickets on Tuesday. So make sure you stay tapped in to your award-winning 101.7 The Truth. But again, we are live from Steinhafels in Menominee Falls, and come on by to make sure that you take advantage of all the great deals that they have going on, where you can save 10% store-wide, or you can get 36 months of 0% financing on purchases over $19.99. And yes, the doorbusters are still here, but only while supplies last. But most importantly, come here. You can test rest, lay on a mattress, try out a mattress, and grab a $20 gift card for lunch. And Steinhafels will also donate $20 to Special Spaces Wisconsin, which is an amazing organization that builds dream bedrooms with kids fighting the battle against cancer. So make sure you come on down for a good cause here at Steinhafels in Menominee Falls, or any Steinhafels near you. This is Truth to Power here on 101.7 The Truth. And we're having a conversation talking about Druski. You guys on YouTube saw the video of Druski. And I want to know, is there a double standard? What Druski did, was he offensive? 833-212-1017. Al, what are your thoughts on today's conversation?
Well, what Druski did, so what? They only mad because he's only exposing who they are. But the real question is, Kyle, was it a double standard when they was buying those masks? Like that look like black people offline for $300 and doing crime in black neighborhoods and jumping in their F-250s, driving away, trying to make us look bad? Was it a double standard then? Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Al. I appreciate that. I don't know. You have to ask them. I don't know if it was a double standard or not. 833-212-1017. Miss Lana Banana, what are your thoughts on today's conversation?
Hey, Kyle, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, ma'am. How about yourself?
Good. I'm blessed to be black. Yeah, no, it's not a double standard because No, it's not a double standard because every time, white people, they can get away with anything, and if we say something, then, it's a problem. But what Druski did, he was showing them how racist they are. For example, he spit in front of a black man. Let a black man spit in front of a white person and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? It's not a double standard. It's a double standard when it comes to the white people, when it comes to black people. And the reason why it's not okay for white people to wear the black face is because the minstrels back in the day, it was a mockery of us. And today, if it was a black person, I don't see anything wrong with white chicks because they're not mocking white people, because the thing is that it's not racist, because when you're racist, it means that you and everybody else that look like you think you're better than everybody else, and you make laws and everything to have those who you think are inferior to you to have generational trauma while you continue to have generational wealth. So it's not racist. It's not. It's racist when white people do it because it's a mockery. Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. No, I hear you. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I agree. Thank you so much, Ms. Lana Banana, for sharing that, because I definitely agree. I think there is much of a difference, and I'm going to get into that for sure. But before I do, 833-212-1017. Again, that is the Truth Talk in text line. And with Marquise on the talking text line said it wasn't a problem when he was portraying a white rapper while back then, and I wonder why. And I was going to get to that. There is also another skit that Druski did a while ago that didn't, some people talked about it, but it didn't catch waves when he was portraying to be a white rapper around black people. And I think there is a significance to that, because I think what it comes down to is that regardless of what you look like and who you are, when you play a stereotype of somebody, a negative stereotype of somebody, and it cuts people deep, there might be some truth to it, right? There might be some truth to it. And I think in this situation, when it comes to Druski, I think the problem is that when you're being funny, it's cool, but when you're being funny and you're living out a stereotype, it hits home with some folks. And I think for this specific situation, it hit home for a lot of people because it portrayed what the reality is of who some of these folks are, right? That is the mindset of some folks. So I think so many people were offended by this is because they had to look in the mirror and what they were seeing was themselves. Right? What they were seeing is a culture that they have. And y'all know what's crazy. I actually used to watch NASCAR quite a bit. Shout out to Matty Kenseth from Cambridge, Wisconsin. He won the Nextel Cup back when it was called that. And so shout out to Matt Kenseth. We all know about Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Sr. and Jr., right? Jimmy Johnson. But that culture that we have there, we know with Bubba Wallace, some of the things who is a black NASCAR driver, some of the things that he had to deal with. So I actually agree with this texter, Marquise, when they say that it wasn't a problem when he was doing it a certain way, but now that he's doing it this way, it is a problem. So I do think there's some validity and some truth to that. But also, here on Truth to Power, I am live from Steinhafels, and I did put a poll out there about whether or not you believe that if it's okay for black people to wear whiteface. I did put a poll out there, and you can do that poll on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube, and it looks like overwhelmingly people are saying yes, it is offensive. Yes, it is okay. It is okay. 58% say yes, it is okay, and 42% people say no, it is not okay. And for me, I think about if it's comedy, it is what it is. But I ain't gonna lie to y'all. When the shoe's on the other foot, I don't know if I'll be okay with it or not. But again, 833-212-1017. This is Truth to Power. We've been having a conversation talking about Druski. You can call in, text in if you want to join in on that conversation. But when we come back, we'll take your calls, we'll take your texts. But then there's a conversation about minimum wage. And usually I do off the top typically. And now I'm in the week talking about a little bit about minimum wage, because I for one, I have made minimum wage in life. But right now there's been a fight to raise minimum wage. And I want to share my 2 cents on whether or not this is a good or bad idea. 833-212-1017. That's the Truth Talking text line. On the other side, we'll wrap up the conversation on Druski. But then I'm going to give y'all my 2 cents on minimum wage.
You are listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app. Catch Truth to Power every weekday from noon to 1 p.m.
your expression on your face, that's got to me. And the man wasn't lying.
What you mean the expression on my face? How can you see my face? You listening to me on the radio, man.
No, I'm watching you on YouTube, too.
Oh, all right, then. You're an old man, and you know about YouTube. How old are you, Adam? You about 85.
83.
I'll be dipped. How blessed are we to have you?
Watch all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows by subscribing to 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Tory Lowe on the go, a call to action this Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. We'll be broadcasting live from rural Wisconsin on the Tory Lowe Show. We'll be discussing the shocking case of a 14-year-old teen who was brutally beaten and pressed against a meat grinder in a barn. Do not miss this important conversation as we shed light on this hate crime. Join me live as we explore the complexities of this case and what it means to our community. Your voice matters, and I want to hear from you. Call in and share your thoughts, and let's work together to create positive change.
Hey, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. Build a customized renter's policy with American Family Insurance so you can protect your tandem bike on the go. Thief! Oh, he is struggling with that two-seater. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Some exclusions may apply. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Tracy, going back to the process, and as it relates specifically to the partnership that Old National Bank has with Housing Resource, what does the process consist of when coming through this program?
You know, it's a referral process. We work with clients that first-time homeowners that may not have the counseling that they need. They may not have the equity, the down payment that they need. So we refer them to our partners like HRI or Housing Resources, Inc., because we recognize that those organizations, they have the resources, they have the tutorial documentation and all of those things that are necessary for first-time homeowners that don't know the process, may not know the system, may not know what's required for home ownership. So working with Housing Resources, Inc. and other partnerships that we have like through WIDA has been very, very advantageous, not only for us, but also the organizations, but also for the community.
You are listening to Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Ride the wave to clean with Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for a winning shine. Become a monthly member and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 a day. Skip the wait in the fast lane and take advantage of unbeatable perks like free vacuums and free tire air every visit, with convenient locations across Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, Mount Pleasant, and New Berlin. Fresh, clean, and shiny is always close by with Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Learn more at tsunamiexpress.com. This is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, and I'm coming to you live from Steinhafels in Menominee Falls. Make sure y'all come on down to Steinhafels for your chance to lay on a mattress and try out some mattresses and get a $25 gift card for lunch. But then also have $25 go towards Special Spaces, which is a great organization that helps build dream rooms, bedrooms for kids who are battling and fighting against cancer. Truth Nation, I'm so excited that y'all can see my outfit today. Go Pack Go. The Packers play on Sunday, so I'm very excited about that. We've been talking about Druski, but I want to transition a little bit because I didn't want to go too deep in this, but I do want to talk about it. And I saw an article earlier this week about minimum wage. And let me tell y'all, I believe that minimum wage is entirely too low. $7.25 is entirely too low for minimum wage. I also believe the fact that minimum wage has not been increased since 2009 here in the state of Wisconsin. In the state of Wisconsin, we have not increased minimum wage since 2009, which is the federal minimum wage. That is the least amount that you can pay people. And when you look at the cost of living, and we've seen the cost of living drastically rise. I'm somebody, I've been tracking houses for a long time, and seeing interest rates go up, seeing the cost of living go up, seeing the cost of homes go up, seeing just everything going up, it is not sustainable for people to make $7.25 per hour. That is $15,000 a year, a little over, a smidge over $15,000 a year. So for me, when I hear that people want to raise the minimum wage, I'm all for it. I'm all for raising the minimum wage. But when I see things like this, I say, y'all out y'all minds. Advocates are urging lawmakers here in the state of Wisconsin to back a $20 minimum wage guaranteed increase. $20 per hour to be the state new minimum wage. And again, I'm here for everybody to get their paycheck. I'm here for everybody to make money. But I'm going to tell y'all this right now. Y'all know I'm straight. I get straight to it. That is completely idiotic for anybody to believe that the minimum wage in the state of Wisconsin should be $20. And especially thinking that you're going to raise it up just like that. It is idiotic. We should raise minimum wage. We should do something that is strategic. It should be mindful. It should be thoughtful. But if anybody thinks that minimum wage should be $20 an hour in Wisconsin, you are highly mistaken. You have to understand that when you think about minimum wage, there are some great benefits to raising the minimum wage, but there are some significant drawbacks to doing it. And we can't sit here and go from the fight for 15 to talking about $20. I even think $15 an hour may be too much for here in the state of Wisconsin. And I'll tell you why. For business owners, right, when you think about business owners, a lot of time people think about corporations, right? They think about all these big places when they think about the minimum wage. They think, oh, these people should be able to pay this because their CEOs make millions of dollars. Yeah, that's very true. If your company brings in millions of dollars and your CEO is bringing in, $10 to $20 million per year, then yeah, maybe you can, as a corporation, as a company, maybe you can fiscally afford to raise minimum wage to $15 to $20 per hour. Absolutely. But we have to understand is that you cannot allow for the little guy. You cannot allow for the small businesses to get caught up in your push to want to raise minimum wage because you're mad at CEOs of these major companies. We can't allow for these small businesses to suffer. So imagine if you are somebody, like we work at the Market Hall, right? The 3rd Street Market Hall. The majority of the businesses inside of the 3rd Street Market Hall are small businesses. Now imagine if we have the hot dog place at the 3rd Street Market Hall, Dog City. Now imagine if Dog City had to pay their employees, and I don't know how much they pay. They could pay $20, but imagine if they had 8 employees that they were paying, let's say, $14 per hour, and then all of a sudden in a year they were mandated to pay them $20 per hour, which is $6 more per hour. Guess what? That is going to cut in a profit because there is nothing that Dog City can do. There is not anything that a lot of them places inside of, the 3rd Street Market Hall or small business around a lot of communities, there's nothing they can do to make up for an additional $6 per hour, which for a lot of folks, I'm not a mathematician, so tell me if this is right, 6 times 8 is 48. Rhea, come on now. You're supposed to be the smart one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, come on now, Rhea. Yeah, I believe it's 48. So there's no way that they can make up for an additional $48 per hour per employee. So for me, if they do make up for it, the only way to make up for it is by rising costs up even more. So we have to understand when we talk about things about raising minimum wage, we should do that. But we cannot throw out these ludicrous numbers of $20 an hour. Where in what world do you go from having a minimum wage of $7.25 to jumping up to $20? That's over $10. That's almost $13 increase. That is stupid. Y'all got me out here sounding like Dr. Ken. That's dumb. That's ludicrous. That's crazy. Is that a good impression, Rhea?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Thank you. I love Dr. Ken. Shout out to him. 4 to 6 right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Award-winning Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. And so when I see stuff like this, it's very irritable. I get irritated when I see things like this because I just think people just throw stuff out there that makes no sense. It makes no sense. Yes, I think that people should be fighting to make more money, but I ain't going to lie to you. If you work and listen, this ain't no shot at you. I've been there, right? Because imagine me as a kid who was working at the Hawthorne Glen uprooting plants, right? Imagine me as a kid who was working at the CLC at OW Homes, right, for their Children's Outing Association. Imagine me being a kid, now all of a sudden I'm making $20 an hour. I don't need that. And I ain't taking no shots at those who work in the fast food industry. Shout out to you if you can get 15, 18, 20, whatever it is, but it shouldn't be a minimum of no dang $20. Now, $7.25 is ridiculous, and nobody can live off $7.25 as an adult. That is not feasible. For anybody that has bills and a life to live, making $7.25, that is shameful. And Wisconsin should be ashamed of themselves that they have allowed the minimum wage to stay at $7.25 since 2009. Wisconsin should be ashamed of themselves that we are at the federal minimum, literally the federal minimum that you can pay somebody at $7.25 per hour. That should not be an option. And any business or corporation doing that, shame on you. Shame on you. So again, when I think about this raising the minimum wage, absolutely. But we got to stop letting these organizations who come out and say these crazy things, throw these ridiculous numbers out here, and us just run with it and say, oh, yeah, $20 an hour. Nah, hell no. I'm going to tell you this. If I was a business owner, if somebody asked me for $20 an hour when they was making, I don't know, 12, 14, they said, I ain't working unless I get 20. I say, all right, well, I'll see you later. That's your resignation letter for me. See, I wouldn't play that. Y'all wouldn't want me to be no business owner. I'd be firing people left and right. I have my own dang TV show. But this is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. And again, we're live from Steinhafels in Menominee Falls. Make sure y'all come on out to take advantage of the great deals that they have, but more importantly, the great furniture that they have here as well. I'm so mad I got to leave right away because I got to head up to Slinger for Kyle Bruston Nortman 2 to 5 on ESPN Wisconsin. I got to head up to Slinger or I'll be walking around here shopping. But I cannot wait to come back so I can look for more great stuff. The clearance center that they have here is super dope. Super dope. So come on by. If you're looking to upgrade your home, look no further than Steinhafels. But also, in addition to that, Truth Nation, tune in tomorrow into the award-winning 1017 The Truth at 11:30 a.m. for the debut of Four Together for Kids, hosted by myself, Kyle Wallace, and Coleston Morgan Jr. Four Together for Kids is a monthly conversation where we have a real talk about K-12 education in Milwaukee. I and Coleston will tackle tough issues and make sure you're informed about everything happening from the State House to the schoolhouse that affects kids' education. This show is being brought to you by City Forward Collective, a local nonprofit working to ensure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family. Again, that is Forward Together for Kids this Saturday at 11:30 a.m. and replay at 2:30 p.m. on Sunday right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Truth Nation, thank y'all so much for tuning in. The Tory Lowe Show is up next. Make sure y'all tune in because Tory told y'all that story about what happened in Iowa County. Well, he went straight to Iowa County to bring the smoke that way, so make sure y'all tune into that. But this has been Truth to Power Live for Steinhafels here in Menominee Falls. Come on by and enjoy. Peace out. I will see y'all next week. Have a safe, wonderful weekend. Tune into the award-winning 1017 The Truth this Saturday at 11:30 a.m. for